Okay, quick review on graphing quadratics here. Okay. What would probably be the best thing to find first? Axis of symmetry, right? The vertical line that cuts the parabola right down the middle. And the little shortcut to doing that is
opposite of b over 2a.
Opposite of b over 2a. Okay? And when we say that, remember, a is the coefficient in front of your x squared. So my a value is 1. B is the coefficient in front of my linear term. So my b value is -1. And my c value is -6, which doesn't apply to the axis of symmetry. Alright? So anyway, my axis of symmetry would be x equals, what's the opposite of b? 1. What's twice a? 2. Alright, so we're dealing with a fraction, that's fine, okay? The axis of symmetry would be x equals 1/2. So sometimes it might be beneficial to go ahead and start your graph. Some of you might like actually having the axis of symmetry already drawn. Now, I'm going to do one thing here just to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to count by halves in the x direction. I didn't do that on my answer key. Everybody understand that? On my answer key that I posted to the document, I did not count by halves, but I'm going to just for our purpose up here. So that will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3. So this line right here, you can just see, I'm going to say that's my half, okay? Up and down, though, I'm still going to go ahead and count by 1. Alright? On the screen up here. On the answer document, the one that I posted to your document, I just counted by 1s all the time, in both directions, up, down, left, right. Okay? So anyway, my axis of symmetry is x equals 1/2. So some of you may like to draw in that axis of symmetry because it helps you mirror things over to the other side. And don't be afraid to just pipe up if you have a question, anybody. Okay? So x equals 1/2. There's my axis of symmetry. Now that we know our axis of symmetry, what special coordinate would be pretty easy to find? The vertex, because doesn't the vertex have to lie on this axis of symmetry somewhere?
Yeah.
Sure. So my vertex, I know, has to have an x value of what?
1/2.
1/2. Because it's going to be 1/2 comma something, right? How do we figure out the y value that goes to the next value of a half?
Plug it in.
Plug it in for the x in the equation. Okay? 1/2 squared, what's 1/2 times 1/2? 1/4. 1/4, take away a half. -1/4, good. And then take away 6 more. -6 and 1/4. Okay? It's okay if you can't do that with mental math because you don't like fractions. You all have calculators you're more than capable of using. Okay? So 1/2 comma -6 and 1/4. So 1/2 comma -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1/4. I'm just kind of roughly estimating where that is. Questions? Okay so far? Alright. Now it's really just a matter of finding some more coordinates so you can draw your graph. So you probably would just do what?
Table of x.
Make a table of values, plug in some numbers for x, see what you get for y, that sort of thing. Okay? I'm going to do them, okay if I do them mentally? Yeah. Alright?
I got -6 for all mine.
So if you plugged in 0 for x, you're going to get -6 for y, right? So 0 comma -6 would be right there. So that also then would mean 1 comma -6 is also a coordinate, right? Because it's symmetrical. Okay. I gotta remember this is -1 all the way over here, that's -2 and so on. Okay. What number do you want to plug in next?
1.
We already got 1. See that?
2.
Let's go to 2. 2 squared?
4.
Minus 2?
2.
Minus 6 more.
-4.
So when I plug in a 2, out comes a -4, right? So now be careful. That's going to fall here then at -1, right? Because I got to mirror image them perfectly on either side of the axis of symmetry. Okay? let's keep going because I do want to try and get my x-intercepts. I want to see where this thing crosses the x-axis. So let's try the next one. Let's try 3. 3 squared
9,
minus 3
6,
minus 6 more.
0.
Awesome. So when I plugged in a 3, out came a 0. So that must mean then that negative 2 would also be a 0. Feel like that's enough to draw a pretty decent looking parabola?
Yeah.
I do too. You could go get more if you wanted to. You could plug in some more coordinates if you wanted to, but I think that's good enough because it's going to give us everything we need as far as our properties are concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the sketch. That's with my ability. So our graph is done. Our axis of symmetry is done. Our vertex is done. Yes, sir?
Well, actually, I was waiting. This is free.
Okay. Where are my x-intercepts? 3, 0, and negative 2, 0. And where is my y-intercept?
0,
I believe it was negative, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, real quick trick here, guys, if you think about it. When you plug in a 0 for x, that's how you find your y-intercept, right? Will it just always be that number back there?
Yeah.
Because when you're plugging in zeros for x's, that becomes zeros. Okay. And the vertex is a minimum, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Questions on this particular problem before I stop the video and address a different problem? Any questions just in general, big picture?